Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. In this how-to modeling tip, I'll show you how to make a Magneto for just pennies. Now, it's not a contest model item, and if you want one of those, you can spend $10 or so and buy one of those aluminum turn jobs that look really great. But if you just want some wires on your model, you can do this on your own and just for a few cents. These are the main ingredients, and they basically look good on a 124 or 125 scale model kit. Now you'll need some super glue, and what I see here is called wire wrapping wire. It's real thin wire with a thin coating. It's flexible and but yet posable, and it's actually used to wrap up other wires for electrical work. But it comes in colors, and you can buy a whole spool for about $6, and it'll last you a very, very long time. The other items here are the tubing, and I use styrene, but you can use brass. In this case, it's a 1/16 rod and 1/8 tube from Evergreen, and it works pretty well. First thing we'll do is cut off a couple of 1-inch pieces from the tubing and the rod, and then we're going to mark one end with a little mark and use a pin vise and a small drill bit to put a small hole right straight through the top of the tube. You can pinch the bottom with some pliers. That's why it's a little longer than you really need it. And then we're going to put a larger drill bit through there, in this case a 5/64 inch drill bit, in order to go clear through the tubing to give us a nice clean hole. Now grab some of that wire wrapping wire, and we're going to reel off some lengths that are about 5 to 6 inches long, and then we're going to gather them so that they kind of meet at each end at that length, and we've got 4 wires here to work with. Put the wires at the ends and then straighten them out and run them through the hole in the tube that you've drilled the hole through. Make sure that the wire is in the center and it's equidistant lengths on both sides of the Magneto, and then trim the ends off for a nice clean cut and a nice straight wire. Next, we'll get the 1/16 rod back, and then we'll put a drop of super glue right in the end of the tubing on top of the wire, and then we're going to insert the rod right into that at the very top of the Magneto and let it dry. Cut the tubing off flush at the top of the Magneto to close it up and make it nice flush flat finish, and sand it off smooth. The wires through and the top plug in place with the super glue. We're going to trim off the rest of the bottom of the Magneto tubing here so that we've got a nice opening for another place to insert the tube, which is going to be the shaft for the Magneto. So again, use a drop of super glue in the bottom and glue the shaft into the bottom of the Magneto. With the basic Magneto done, we can use something to make plug boots. Now, a lot of people will take and they'll strip wire out of some electrical wiring, like from a computer, some fine wire, but I just use some 1/16 polyolefin shrink tubing. It's meant for electrical work, and I just cut off a piece that's about 3/16 inches long, and then I put it on the ends of the wires. Now this stuff shrinks down to about half the size. In fact, once you shrink it down, you can fit unshrunk tube right over the top of it, and it stays on the wires just about right. It's not too long, and you can actually still move them around. Place a piece of tubing on some tape and then cut the pieces off about 3/16 of an inch long, and then this way they won't fly off and get lost. Put a wire into each piece of tubing and then loop the ends so they don't fall off on you. Now shrink the tubing using a heat gun or a hot blow dryer or even an open flame. Just make sure you're careful. And then as you can see, it compares to about half of the size of the unshrunk tubing. All that's left is to paint the Magneto any color you choose. I used a gloss black here with a flat aluminum for the shaft. And then when it's in place, you merely drill a hole just like you would for a regular model car distributor into the manifold, run your wires to the appropriate lengths, And then of course you slide the boots back until you get them into position, and then super glue them into place just like you would a normal purchased wired distributor. But this is a Magneto for meager money, and if you just want some wires on your kit, this is a pretty convenient and convincing way to go. So if I were you, I'd make one and put it on my dragster. Well, there you have it. We hope you liked this premium how-to tip, and we suggest that if you don't want to miss any more, you subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can find us on Facebook and our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks.